Hey, Father Sidley here. It's probably cloudy, but still a very nice day. August 10th, Thursday. So it's been a couple of weeks, but I'm back for your weekly eBlast, sometimes called the weekend update. So some things coming up for the church. So here's some things on the schedule, then I'll give you some news. So on the schedule, we're still having great times on Sunday for kids. This idea that Amanda came up with, having this, it's kind of like vacation Bible school, but it's on Sunday. We've been having lots of kids come to that. It's been a great thing. Various leaders, really good time. So if you know a family with kids, if you have kids of your own but didn't know we had this, 9:15, we got a really great thing going on for kids at the service. It's great to see lots of kids back at the church again. So that's going on. On alternate Wednesdays, we just had it last Wednesday, there has been a group meeting that was called, we call it the mission group, but it's really now called the like learning to be a disciple group. Here's why I think you should be interested in it. Most people think about, what am I supposed to believe to be a Christian? And then we don't necessarily think about what's supposed to happen in me. Who am I becoming as a result of God's work of the Holy Spirit in me? And who am I in the world as a Christian? So what changes should I be going through? And who am I supposed to be in the world that's different from before I was a Christian? So what this class does, in an hour and a half, we go through some really basic practices that you can do. We do them as a group together. And I got to say, I've been astounded at the presence of God and the Holy Spirit in our meetings. It's very, very powerful, like in ways that I didn't predict. But we've been having a really powerful time of changing that. So everybody is invited to come to that. You can be like, I'm kind of new, or I'm a veteran, or whatever it is, but everybody's invited to that. Here's what I'm fascinated about. Why is it that more women tend to get involved with the spirituality issues than men? It isn't that men don't have stress. It isn't that men don't have a call from God, but somehow culturally, it just seems the way it is. But I'm making a special invitation, particularly to men, to come out and to try things out. Here's an example. I didn't grow up around the water in terms of like swimming. I grew up going to the water, but I never swam a whole lot. So what I've often thought is, now that I'm getting older and going to the gym and trying to lift heavy and those things, those are kind of beyond me. I've often wondered, what would it be like if I learned how to swim? Would that be easier on my body, but still a great exercise? But you know what keeps me from going? Is it's embarrassing that I really don't know how to swim that well. I feel like I should go to the pool and be able to like swim a half mile without blinking. It's not the way it happens. But you get in the water, you get some coaching, you get some encouragement, and over time, guess what? You learn how to swim proficiently. Spirituality, prayer, learning to be aware of God, same thing. Right? So don't think like, I don't know enough. What if I don't know what I'm doing? It's all new to me. Forget about that. Come out Wednesday, where we have a new starting time at 6 o'clock, and we're over by 7:30. So really, you're still getting home for everything else. So from 6 to 7:30, starting alternate Wednesdays, it's the discipleship group. I'd like to invite you to come to that. Everybody's invited to that. If the group gets super large, we'll split up and have two groups. But these are things that are important for you, and important for you and our church as part of God's mission. So anyway, alternate Wednesdays, the discipleship group. Also coming up, something I want you to be aware of is a week from tonight, so today's the 10th, so on the 17th from 4 to 7, there will be calling hours for a person who didn't go to our church, but who will be buried from our church the next day on that Friday. Person was a friend of mine, was a parishioner of mine up in Southwick, was a very, lovely person, loved the Lord, sang in choirs, sang in our group, was extremely creative. She was the vice president of marketing and public relations for Western New England College, and then it's shifted over to university. Just a really wonderful disciple who took the stuff she would hear on Sunday and she would take it to her staff meetings at the university on Monday. It was really fascinating. Her name was Barbara Campanella Moffett. And so her funeral will be next week, Friday. I believe that's the 18th, calling hours the night before. What I'm a little worried about is this could be a very large group of people coming. And because she's not one of our family per se, I'm afraid that we might not have enough volunteers. So volunteering simply means welcoming people at the door, showing them where to go upstairs. I mean, it's not very complicated, but we do need some home team players to come out for that. So if you have the ability to come out for any portion of that time, next Thursday, 4 to 7, or at the funeral the next day, Friday, the 18th at 10, if you can come and help us, that would be great. Don't need a whole crew, but if you're saying, hey, I'm home, I'm available, it would be great to have you. So that's coming up next Thursday and Friday. Also coming up in September, we have a variety of events to talk about. One is we're trying to figure out how to plan a celebration for our 150th. It's the 150th anniversary of our building. Our church is older than that, but 150 years in this building. And so we want to have a celebration. And so the same day, the Terriffill Village Association has decided to have a celebration of 20 years of the TVA, Terriffill Village Association. We're going to double up with them and be supportive and be a part of that. So I've made some calls to some guys who are in bands, not blues bands. This time, some guys who run a really great Christian worship band. And out of the blue, I called them up and said, hey, could you come? So I'm trying to work out what we might do. We're definitely going to need some volunteers. We have ideas like Memorial Day to have hamburgers and hot dogs, set up a couple of tents, have ice cream, have a bounce house, stuff for kids and families. It's a way. The purpose of this is to celebrate our 150th by inviting the community to come in. The only purpose of a church building really is to be a mechanism of worship. Worship is about community, right? It's about people. So we're using this as a way to jump off to see if we can make new contacts with people in our community. So Carolyn Clement, is kind of like the boss of all that stuff. Amanda is working there with the TVA. So if you'd like to be involved in some kind of way, and we need you, so be involved. That's the weekend of September 16th. Whole bunch of other stuff coming up in the fall, including Fill the Truck, new programs, music plans, all kinds of stuff. But I just want to give you that kind of information for now. So God bless you, and I hope to see you this weekend. And we'll continue to worship the Lord here